Okay. So again, you just spoke about the love that you, Pac, Stretch had, and you're like Stretch and Pac was like this. Where did it go left? How
Um,
how, how did that relationship break down?
after quad, after the quad shooting,
Okay.
that's when it went because he felt like there's a few things that was said. The first thing is after Pac got locked up, Stretch was there at that hotel. Stretch had left, right? Because he's always with Pac. They was writing rhymes together, looking through beats, and listening to beats, everything. After the quad shooting, Pac felt the way because he said that Stretch and Him didn't come see him when he was locked up. But they couldn't come see him because you had to have ID, and he ain't had no ID. All right, he's a convicted
Mm.
felon. He couldn't come up there to see Pac anyway. He had no ID. That's number one. And then number two, they were friends. The friendship and that bond was B.I., God rest his soul, Stretch, and Pac. They were all cool, bro. Like you seen the documentaries on Tupac and Biggie. These dudes they were tight. So you can't ask somebody to pick a side when you know that what happened to you did not come from that person. You know Big had nothing to do with that. Big actually went back into the studio and got your gun from in the piano that they hid it and put it in his waistband and walked out with all of those cops out there with a gun in his waist, your gun in his waist. You knew that did not come from B.I. So you asked the Stretch to choose a side, and he's like, you my man, and he's my man. You know where this came from. You know who you was messing with that we kept telling you not to mess with. So you know where it came from, bro. So why you wilding? But once Pac got into wilding, there was no holding him back.
There's no holding him back, even with a guy who's his brother, who he knows, meaning Stretch. Stretch was
And
there with
Big.
him,
And Biggie.
and Big. But I'm saying when Pac got shot, wasn't Stretch standing next to him?
They laid him down. Yeah, they laid Stretch down too. He was with him.
Mm. So he just felt like, look, it's either you gonna ride with me or you gonna ride with.
You gotta understand that stuff didn't really come out and really manifest itself crazy until that Vibe magazine interview, and then when Suge Knight put the battery in his back. That's when it really started going. So he wasn't dealing with nobody from the East Coast. Nobody. And it wasn't long. When did the quad studio shoot happen? 94?
Like 94.
He was in jail in 95, then they got him out, right? And then Stretch got killed not too long after that.
Mm. And did Tupac go to Stretch's funeral?
No. And that's when him and I had a problem. Because we are both godfathers to his daughter. We're godfathers to his daughter. And no matter what happens, the one thing that I learned about is respect. There's a moral code, right? You can see, if you're a fan of movies, you watch The Godfather like me, the dudes that set Don Corleone up came to his funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Stretch ain't have nothing to do with what happened to you in a quad studio. That was your man. You could have showed up at his funeral. You should have showed up and just paid your respects. Or even if you wasn't coming, you could have sent something to let everybody know that you felt a certain way about this man who was really kind of responsible for holding you down in New York for a long time because of the amount of respect that street dudes in New York had for Stretch. You know what I mean? They knew where that dude came from. They knew his pedigree. They knew that cat would bust his guns when it was necessary. They knew that. So you running around with Stretch was like, yo, you can't touch that kid. He with the young guns. He with them Queens dudes. Them dudes is ill. That's stretching a man. You know? Mm-hmm. The same way he had that pass in New Jersey because of Tretch. When Pac went to East Orange and all that Newark, they knew not to touch him because that's Tretch's man. The same way when I was in Jersey and I'm running down there with the Double I crew, cats down there knew I was untouchable because I'm Tretch's man. I'm on their block. I'm chilling. I'm with Face and all of them. They knew dudes around there was like, nah, Ed, y'all don't mess with Ed, bro. Ed's untouchable. That's Tretch man. You know what I mean? And from Tretch, you meet other dudes. You meet dudes, shot callers in Newark and all that love Tretch and love Naughty and love Latifah and love all of them. Nah, I walk through Newark, New Jersey, downtown, shop, do whatever I want to do. Go buy weed. If I wanted some weed at the time, I was untouchable because of the love that them cats had for Naughty coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They love La. Don't get me wrong. They love Latifah, but Naughty was gritty, grimy, Newark, East Orange. So them dudes had a lot of respect for these dudes that came up out of that. So that's the same way they treated Tupac. And Tupac was cool. Tupac was never on no I'm Tupac. He came around and showed everybody love the same way I do. If I'm in the store and there's a bunch of little kids in the store, I'm gonna put my money out, get what I want, I'm gonna pay for what they want. You know what I mean? We all on the block. So the same love they had for me, the same love Tupac got shown all around, especially in Queens, New York, because that was Stretch's man. Same love I got shown. It's just all love, bro. So he could have, and he should have shown up to Stretch's funeral.
Did Stretch being killed, did it ever come out the why? Did it have anything to do with this?
No, that was different beef, bro. That's a totally different beef. That's some Queens street beef. They ain't had nothing to do with Tupac. Nothing.
Got you. And did you ever get a chance to talk to? I mean, Pac is your man. Now did you ever? So you got a chance to confront him? Like, how could you not come to Stretch's funeral? And you the godfather to his child?
I'm gonna tell you one thing that Suge Knight told me one time when I was living in LA at the time, and a young lady that I was real close with was close with Suge, so I used to go up to Death Row offices all the time. This is on the waning side of Death Row. This is probably like 99, early 2000s, wasn't really cracking like that. And I remember he had a boat, and he had like this, I think it was Labor Day or something like that. I was there. He had a Labor Day boat ride party, and I'm on the boat with him, and he tapped me, and he go, "You know why I always loved you?" And I was like, "Why?" He said, "Because you carry yourself as a man. You're a man. You don't do the rah-rah thing. You came right in the middle of us at the MTV Video Music Awards and screamed on Tupac about not coming to Stretch's funeral, knowing that we could have jumped on you and whooped your ass right there. And a bunch of dudes wanted to, but I held them off because you came at him like a man." And I told him, I said, "Yo, bro, that's fucked up. You didn't come to our man's funeral. Like who does that, bro? What did he ever do to you? Like, that's whack. That's whack for you not to show up to homeboy funeral. We love that dude. That dude loved you. Like, for real, for real. Like, you playing this game right here, and this shit is dangerous. This is a dangerous game you playing. Because these dudes, you're not the same dudes these dudes are.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. You're an artist. You ain't the same dudes these dudes are, dog. You running with killers. It's different.